Over the next year, I'm projected to earn over $3,000 in dividends. This is an average of $250 every month or $8.22 every day. That is passive income paid to me from a portfolio of public stocks I have invested in. These are companies you have all heard of like Microsoft, ExxonMobil, Intel, Apple, PepsiCo, etc. So what exactly is a dividend? A dividend is a distribution of a company's earnings paid out to its shareholders. This is unique to every stock and determined by a company's board of directors. So even if you buy just one share in a stock like Microsoft, you are an owner. As an owner, you are entitled to your share in the profits. So when they pay out a dividend, you'll receive cash that you could choose to spend or reinvest as you see fit. If you reinvest these dividends to acquire more shares, you'll create a powerful compounding effect us dividend investors like to call the dividend snowball. Over time, you may earn enough money in dividends that it could be your path to financial independence. In this video, I'm going to analyze my current dividend income projections, history of earned dividends, and explain my plan to live off dividends. My name is Zach. So leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video. The website I'm using is an application I developed, which is available at dividenddata.com. Here you can track your portfolio, get curated dividend news, and conduct in-depth stock research. Sign up and become a member at dividenddata.com because actively tracking your progress is a very important step in reaching your goals. As I mentioned earlier, a dividend is a distribution of a company's earnings to shareholders. Dividends are typically paid out on a quarterly schedule. However, there are some stocks which choose to pay out on an annual, semi-annual, or even monthly frequency. Some companies even have very inconsistent schedules, which I tend to avoid. Here are some of the basic fundamentals to understand about dividends. Let's use Texas Instruments as an example. They just grew their quarterly dividend 7.8%. This makes the latest declared dividend $1.24 per share with a payment date of November 15th. Now, since I own 26 shares of Texas Instruments, that means in November I will earn $32.24 in dividends from that position. I didn't even have to do anything. Pretty awesome. Since Texas Instruments pays a quarterly dividend, their forward-looking annual dividend is $4.96 per share. So over the following year, that investment is projected to pay me $128.96 in dividends. Right now, I choose to reinvest all this money to grow my future dividend income. Another core aspect of dividends to understand is the idea of dividend yield. This is the annual dividend per share divided by the current price per share. So basically, this represents the ratio of how much cash you put out to receive that dividend payment. With Texas Instruments, the dividend yield at the current price is 3.07%. So for every $100 invested, you would earn $3.07 in dividends per year, all things unchanged. That may seem small, but with the power of dividend growth and reinvesting dividends, that can compound into a significant amount over the long term. Another important factor to consider is your dividend yield on cost. So for example, I've been buying Texas Instruments lately and have a cost per share of $158.49, making my dividend yield on cost 3.13%. The higher the dividend yield on cost, the greater bang for your buck. You earn more dividends for a lower cost basis. However, it's important to focus on other factors like quality, growth, and how sustainable that dividend is. The most fundamental thing to remember when analyzing stocks is that dividends are downstream of earnings and cash flows. These are businesses, and they must make money and grow earnings to sustain a growing dividend. With Texas Instruments, they have a reliable history of high dividend growth. In general, that is a strong indication that management values their dividend payment program. Beyond that, one important financial detail to pay attention to is the company's payout ratio. This shows the proportion of earnings a company pays its shareholders in the form of dividends. There is no magic number here, but obviously a company cannot sustainably pay out more than they earn. Texas Instruments had a 50% payout ratio in 2021, meaning they paid out half of their net income to shareholders. If we look at their annual cash flow statement, you can see they generated $6.3 billion in free cash flow and paid out $3.8 billion in dividends. Texas Instruments is just one example of a quality business who's growing their earnings and rewarding their shareholders with reliable growing dividend payments. These are the type of stocks I try to invest in, businesses who can reliably grow their dividend over time. Look at the dividend growth rate of Texas Instruments. Over the past 3 years, the compound annual growth rate of their dividend is 14%. That's fantastic. In my portfolio, I try to invest in stocks who regularly grow their dividend payments on an annual basis. Let's take a look at some of the recent raises in my portfolio. ExxonMobil grew their dividend 3.4%, Visa grew a massive 20%, McDonald's at 10.1%, Microsoft at 10%, Texas Instruments 7.8%, Realty Income 0.2%, and the Altria Group 4.4%. By the way, if you are a dividenddata.com member and input your portfolio, then you can get all the latest dividend news filtered by only the stocks you own. Dividend growth is such a massive aspect of long-term dividend investing. There are companies like the Dividend Aristocrats and Kings who have consistently increased their dividends on an annual basis for over 25 and 50 years respectively. Going forward, there are many more companies who will join their ranks. Remember, this dividend income is passive too. You are not actively working. Instead, you're sharing in the profits of some of the world's greatest companies. As a business like Microsoft continues to grow, you share in that success. There are not many jobs where you can get 10% raises year after year. That type of growth is rare. The best part is that you don't have to become a master stock picker or spend a bunch of time analyzing companies. Personally, I may choose to invest in individual stocks, but you can get great results by simply investing in diversified index funds. For example, there are popular dividend-focused ETFs like SCHD. This takes so much of the work out of the way and has a great low expense ratio. You can even just buy SPY or VOO. Those pay dividends too, although at a lower yield. The benefits of growing dividend income is accessible through many different paths. Currently, my dividend stock portfolio is estimated to generate over $3,000 in annual income. That's $750 quarterly, $250 monthly, $8.22 daily, and 34 cents every hour. Based on my current portfolio, the income is not evenly distributed month by month. However, you could create a portfolio that's more even if that's what you desire. Since nearly all my dividends are quarterly, I have a 3-month cycle. I have a projected $104 for August, $394.58 for September, and $254.31 in October. In this table, you can see how a full year of my dividend income is month by month. I can drill into any month and see all the companies projected to pay out in that time. Below that, you can see a sunburst chart showing the diversification of that dividend income by both sector and individual company. Consumer defensive, energy, and technology make up the bulk of my income. Altria, ExxonMobil, Intel, Microsoft, and Enterprise Product Partners are my main dividend payers. This can also be seen on the Dividend Insights tab on the portfolio page. Here you can see my upcoming dividend payments and the exact date that they are coming. November will be a lighter month for my dividend income. Finally, you can see my full dividend history. Since starting this account, I've earned $7,008 in dividends. Year to date, I've earned $2,792. Both my portfolio and strategy have continued evolving over time, but the core idea has remained true. The objective of this portfolio is to build a long-term compounding source of dividend income, with a focus on total return as well. My goal is to build this account up to where I could eventually have the option to fully live off of it. That number is different for everyone, whether it's $40,000, $100,000, or even more. What this unlocks is true financial independence. You have a passive source of income that's growing year after year, and you never have to touch the principal investment. That is my base case that I'm working towards. I've been investing $1,000 to $2,000 a month towards this goal and will hopefully increase that investment over time. It's quite possible that I never even have to live off this dividend income. In that scenario, I can continually reinvest my dividends and compound my money at a high rate. Imagine the snowball effect of passively reinvesting hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. Of course, everyone has different goals though. Many dividend investors are part of the FIRE, Financial Independence Retire Early movement. This scenario prioritizes retiring and living off your dividends as fast as possible. There are even hacks you can do, such as moving to lower cost of living and no dividend income tax areas. This makes living off dividends much more accessible at a lower investment amount. Speaking of taxes, if you hold a dividend stock long term, it can likely be taxed as a qualified dividend in the United States, which is a lower tax rate. Think about it. A passive income source taxed at a lower rate than actively earned income. Dividend growth investing combined with reinvesting dividends creates a compounding source of passive income. This idea is the core topic of dividend data. Every month, I analyze my long-term dividend growth stock portfolio and share its progress. In that upcoming video, I'm going to analyze every stock I own, so subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications if you want to see that when it releases. As I share what I'm doing with my money, it's important to remember not to blindly follow my strategies and be sure to do your own research before making any investment decisions. If you found this content valuable and want to use my software, then become a member of dividenddata.com. Links in the description and pinned comment. Thanks for watching.